Hi guys, so I am Donette. I'm here in Guyana at my lounge. I am always promoting repatriation back to your home country. Today is Guyana's Independence, 57th, and it's an honor to be in my home country on such a special day, significant number. Of course, we all know that you know, most of the islands, I think, Barbados and Trinidad and Jamaica, and a lot of the islands got their independence around the same time. Because when we look at the dates or their independence, in terms of proximity to Guyana's, it's always like around the same time. So I don't know. Did they all call like a Genevian convention and decided, okay, we're gonna free all the people that's been slaving for us for so many years, or all the countries? That's the only thing that I can come up with because it's always baffling when I see my Jamaican or my Trinidadian or Bajan friends also celebrating their independence right around the same time as Guyana's. Anyways, this is a place that I love from the bottom of my heart, and I'm so excited to be reporting to you from my lounge. I sat around most of the day because I've been busy all week. I actually did not open up the entire week because I had so many legal documents to get in place that I needed to begin to work on. And so before I even go on to why I'm here today, I wanted to mention to you that if you are planning to remigrate to Guyana, which is what I found out this week, you have to make sure your remigrant paperwork, it has to be in. I'm sorry, I'm eating my mango. I'm sorry, I'm eating my mango. So, yeah, the paperwork has to be in, and this is actually some good mango too. It's salted, peppered mango, and it's the seed. And I swear, it's the part that is the sweetest. So I've got to get to this mango seed eventually. All right, so I got it over the river for about $200 or $300, whatever it is, and all the slices are done, but the seeds are here and your girl is going to go down on those later. All right. Anyway, so I went this week to take care of some paperwork, a couple of things. First off, I went to the remigrant office in Georgetown, and it's somewhere, I think, Republic Avenue or something like that. I took a taxi down, ended up getting to the remigrant office, going and buy some prawns at the big market, ended up stopping at Hard Rock. I mean, your girl just went in. I just went to a couple of places, try to relax. And so by the time I got back here, I didn't open up. But let's talk about the remigrant process. So you have to be here in this country. By the time you got in to the time you file, it has to be within that 6 months. So let me just use myself as an example. I came in January 5th. I have until June 4th to apply for my remigrant status. Now that remigrant status allows you to actually get up to $6 million tax discount towards shipping your things from the U.S. as well as if you want to purchase a vehicle. So both me and my husband are qualified for two independent, $6 million discount. I'm not filing with him. He's not filing with me because we're coming in at two different times. And not only that, we want to take advantage of the fact that we're two individual people who are moving at two different times and who have different things to ship. So we want as much discount as possible. So that's one of the things. So make sure that when you come in, you do not miss your 6 months, because I almost missed it because I am being very lethargic in terms of the paperwork that I have to get done because I'm so busy focusing on business and opening and everything else. But you really need to take care of it. And I'm glad that I went in because my husband he is on point with all these things. And I'm more like the slacker in that way when it comes down to, okay, I got tomorrow or next week or so on. But he is like one of those on-time persons. And thank God he kept pushing me, because the reality of it is that I almost missed that time. And then I would have had to fly back to the U.S. and then come back and start that 6 months over. Now, what that would have done is hindered our move, because he's already resigned from his job and he has a date that he has to not only leave his job but ship things in, and we want to take advantage of that shipping. So the only way for him to be able to ship the things under me without paying that heavy taxes or whatever when it gets here to Guyana. So and it's a lot of things that needs to be shipped. So we want to make sure to take advantage of it. So the reality of that part is that I needed to get that done ASAP. And I did not know that I was running out of time. I thought I could just go in at any time and do it. So now I'm like on a time schedule. So Tuesday I went in to get my passport done because I need a Guyana passport. I don't probably need it, but I want it. So I'm actually I filed for it, got all the paperwork done because I had it sitting around for a while. The paperwork. I'd gotten my pictures sitting around for a while, so I had to do new pictures because I guess it became a little bit creasy. So I got new pictures done. Filed for it. It's going to be at the passport office on the 27th of June because I think it takes about just about a month to pick it up. So I filed here in Linden Town. I tried in Georgetown, but the line was exceptionally long when I went down there on Monday, and I did not want to take that chance. So I just decided not to even stay to do that. But either way, I had to go back when I went to the remigrant office. I had to go back to the passport office because I have a new American passport. So that passport doesn't give me 5 years in the U.S. because I just gotten it, I think, in 2020. And that's one of the requirements. Like you have to be overseas for 5 years in order to file remigrant status to Guyana. So since I just gotten it in about 2020 or so, it doesn't give me that amount of time. So she asked me for my old passport. I know I have it in the U.S., but of course you have to get that shipped in and all that stuff. So I decided to just work with my income tax, which I know I could file online, or I mean just sign on online and get those. So that's what I used along with the passport office comes in where since you can't prove your citizenship through your own old passport, as I don't have that, I can now use my not the new passport. I can now go back to the passport office here in Guyana, and they can give you like kind of like an itinerary, or I forgot what they call it, but anyway, a list of all the times that you've traveled from and to Guyana during the past 5 years. So they'll have that list. So I need to go back on Monday and pick that up. So with that giving me that piece of paper, with me having my income tax documents, and then also I had to get like a declarative statement from a lawyer and have the JP sign off on it. So I had to pay $50 to get the lawyer to prepare the document. Then I have to take that to a JP so that he can stamp it. Now I think I could have just gone to the JP and then he prepared a letter and stamp it, but then a lot of these JPs just don't have time to sit and type things up, and unless they're if you're in the city, then it's fine, but if you're here in Linden, you might have a problem with trying to get them to actually sit and type it up on time. So I needed mine right away. My lawyer is really good. She's Mistress Welcome, and she is just really welcoming for real. That's her name, and she's really welcoming, and she's really good. She's young and ambitious. Love that sister. She's a queen, and she gets her stuff. She knows her stuff, and she gets it done. So she's also over the river, and she's in the market area between Quartz and let me see, MoneyGram. So she's between those two, towards the back. In the building. So she's really, really cool. So I like working with her. She's worked with me. Well, I've worked with her before, so I definitely wanted to go back to her. So anyway, with those documents in tow, so that will be the declarative statement, the list of my itinerary from the passport office, my tax documents, and I think that's about it. And just my ID card. And I go back in on Monday. So to uplift that document from the passport office, and I take everything back because I already have the declarative statement from my lawyer, and I already have my income taxes copies, and so now I'm ready to take those back to the remigrant office, and they say from there it takes about 21 days for me to be fully for me to get my I guess my documents, which shows that I'm allowed to be to have these discounts and that I am now a full remigrant. So please, please, please do your work when you get here. Don't wait, don't wait around like I did. No, no, and don't find excuses because I think I found way too many excuses and waited too long. Anyway, I'm gonna get through in time for my husband to be able to ship because he's not shipping all the way up until I think late July. So that's enough time. So I'll get through well a month and a half in advance before he even begins to ship. Um, Let me see what else. Didn't open again on Wednesday because I went to the passport office, and I, filed for my passport. Like I said, I'll pick that up. Thursday I came in. It was a slow night actually, and I didn't even stay around too long. About 9:30 or so, not even 9:30. About 9 o'clock, I decided it was enough. Around 8:30, I decided that okay, I'm gonna close off and just get some rest and start back tomorrow, which is today. So I'm here today and I'm ready for the weekend. All right, your girl is ready. I'm all pumped. I got my energy back. I really rested well this week. That's something that I needed. Got to hang out a little bit in the city. That was really good for me. So everything looks really, really good going forward. Because once you have all your documents in tow, you're good to go. My dad and I has been talking. Now, meanwhile, let me just say something, and this is a little bit on the side note, but my dad hasn't been here in about, how old am I? 50 almost. He's been away since I was 3 years old. So this man has been, or two, not even two, maybe even one and a half. I don't even, honestly, I don't know. I didn't know him until I got to know him when I was maybe about 6 or 7. All right, because he left us that long. He went to the United States, right? So he didn't just leave, he went to the US. So, but anyways, when he came back, we were already about 6 and 7. So, but he's been away for all those years, and he's now talking about reinvesting. So him and I have been talking about investing in Guyana, not reinvesting, but investing in Guyana, or reinvesting his time here in Guyana. So I am very excited. And my dad is very, very American. I mean, I said this before that he sounds absolutely, like a Southern American, like, I mean, really deep South. Okay, so it's exciting to see him wanting to do something here, but I don't know if he doesn't want to come and live, and but he does want to invest. And that means he's reinvesting in his home country, and that to me really touches my heart. So now he's really relying on me to help him out and navigate this. So he's planning on building a 3-story 9-room building, where he's gonna have a Airbnb. And it's really good because he really wasn't there for us when we were growing up. We took a long time before we could mend that relationship because of the fact that he left, and then I think we just never really got together. But I always knew my dad's family and we were very close, but I think sometimes men make silly decisions, over women, and I think that that's what that was. But anyway, we mended as I got older, and it wasn't me, it wasn't my brother, it was just him that made that decision. But after some time, I guess he realized that we were there with our other family members. We were there with my granny, we were there with all my uncles, and we really came from a nice, long, very good background of people who have their heads on their shoulders, who are lawyers and doctors and professors, and just people who are doing their thing. And so that family tie for me was very important growing up, to make sure that you don't lose them. So him not being there didn't really bother me as much, right? I used to ask for him, and I guess he was so afraid to come forward, as he was away for so long, that he just kind of stayed away. But anyways, with years passed by, as the years passed by, I should say, I think my uncle Gordon just got involved, and he said, listen, you're going to go see your daughter. And he brought him to my house in Florida, and he had such a good time with me and my family, my children. And a couple of days later, needless to say, he called me. He was in tears, very apologetic, and he is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful grandpa. Honestly, he's been with the boys and all the grandchildren forever. Like, he's been there for all of them. And what he didn't do as a dad, He's done even 3 times the amount for his grandkids. Honestly, he's always there for them financially, spiritually, just to hold them, to pray with them. I mean, the man has just really been there, and so anyway, so that's just a side note. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, but with that said, he's now asked me to come on board with him to help navigate the process of, building this building. And I said all that to say also that he basically wants to put that building in our names. So using our same lawyer, or the same lawyer that we've used, that I've used, he's going to go through that process. So now I have another investment property to look forward to, and I'm very, very happy. Now, I don't want anyone to think that, oh, yeah, she did this because, oh, yeah, she's got so much money or whatever. And this is one of the reasons why I'm here. It's not about having a whole bunch of money, and this repat process isn't about you waiting until you got all the money in the world. And I wanted to tell you, where my story started in terms of the fact that I was determined to do something different. And you guys know I started out complaining, and my complaints was about how high everything is. I can't get enough of saying the bills are too much in the US. The stress is too much. And I am not a stressful person. I am a person who laugh and I have a good time, and I'm the life of the party. I don't go to parties, but if I get down to traveling, when I get down to traveling, I can enjoy myself. Me and my husband, when we go out, we enjoy ourselves. Don't go to clubs, but wherever we go, we enjoy ourselves, whether it's a dinner or whatever. So with that said, me starting out complaining about the prices in the US, and I haven't changed my mind, guys, okay? Haven't changed my mind. It's absolutely mind-blowing what I pay here compared to what I pay overseas. And I wasn't wrong about this, and I'm so glad to know that I wasn't. So we started out questioning certain things in the very beginning when I first launched this channel, in terms of pricing in the U.S. Whether we're talking, and the other day I heard this, and I don't mean to segue so prematurely, but I was hearing just yesterday, because I've been listening and I follow a lot of repats and expats. Well, not repats mostly, but expats. And I follow their stories, and I follow these motivational folks who, encourage you to go after what it is that God has put in you, and, just not to stop, and to realize your own dreams, and to seek after your own things that you want to do. And so I've been doing that for ages, like listening to the conversations, or the motivational speeches and everything else, to encourage me as a woman and as a black woman to do the things that I want to do and to not stop. So these things are in me, right? But anyway, lately I've been listening, or for the past several years, maybe 3-4 years, well, maybe not several, but enough years that I've been listening to these expats speak their stories. And one of the stories that I was hearing about, after I was finished with the expat story, this motivational speaker came on, and this is all on YouTube, by the way. And he was talking about one of the most expensive things that we have as citizens of the U.S. is the fact that we are actually, the taxes is the most expensive. We pay taxes on our homes. We pay taxes when we go to the stores. Even when you're done paying for your house, you still pay property taxes. You pay taxes at school for your school, zones and so on, wherever it is that you live. You pay taxes there. You pay taxes for simple things. I mean, you fly, you pay taxes, everything you do. So a lot of our salary, a lot of what we do, or the single most important thing in terms of expenses in our lives is actually taxes in the U.S. It kills us. I just asked about trying to make sure that they don't start taxing me as I bill overseas. And I found out which bank I should bank at, so that they won't track me down. And I mean, hey, they will never know how much money I have. And that's good, because I can bank at a certain bank and then they wouldn't know. But if I bank at another bank, then they will know, and then they want to tax you, even though you live overseas. You can either do that, or you can denounce your U.S. citizenship. Now, that's not what I want to do. because and it's very hard to denounce your U.S. citizenship. By the way, you will spend thousands, 20, $30,000 to do it, and it takes a long time to be able to do it. And some people do it, and particularly because they go to Europe and they live. And I feel like all the things in Europe and the U.S. is linked anyway, so there's no way to not. For them not to find out, that this is what you have or this is what you own, and so therefore they end up charging you and taxing you. So anyway, hopefully this video don't come back to bite me, but if it does, they'll just have to find out where I am, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not paying no taxes for anything that I don't own overseas. Okay, if it's overseas, it's fine, but and I've been paying taxes since I was old, 14, 15 years old. There's always something that they've been taxing me on, so my kids will continue to pay taxes, my grandkids and my great great grandkids, so why should I worry about it now? Anyway, so with that said, I am at a place now where I need to focus on just enjoying this process, not paying taxes. I've been complaining about how much things cost, not having so much bills and responsibilities. I don't want it anymore. I'm tired of it. This is what started my journey in the very, very first place. The other thing is that I can live cheaper someplace else. I can still live well, and I can embrace my Americanism in the same way. It does not matter that I've been there for 36 years and that I've now come back home. I don't have to drop everything, because who says you have to drop one culture to embrace another, to be totally immersed in that culture? Like, I can totally be immersed in my Guyanese culture without, dropping everything that I've learned from America. I have no plans on doing that. And just like I didn't drop all of my Guyaneseism to assimilate into American culture. The two worlds can meet, and it can be beautiful. And that's what I plan to maintain. All right. So let me just say, I'm here today because I want to talk about, some of the benefits of me moving home. And just give me a second, because I'm going to have to find this in my little girl power sister friend diary here. All right, so I'm back. So living financially, so my title is Escaping US High Cost of Living and Living Financially Free in Guyana. So you guys may remember that I said a couple of things, whereas the bills here are so low, and I'm so impressed, and I'm so happy that I made this move. And so I'm trying to tell you exactly what are some of the reasons why I decided to move, and also the kind of level of responsibility in terms of financially that I was, not happy with, versus financially the things that I am very, very pleased with here in my home country. So let me tell you, well, the light bill here at my business, so I have two buildings here so far. So I have the building that I'm in, which is a 27 by 27. I have the new building, which is about 19 by 15, I believe it is. I have my kitchen, I have my bathroom, I have my pergola in the back, and I have lights running across the venue. All these light bills, and especially in Linden Town, of course, that's why it's so cheap. Now, if a new company comes in, Lord help me, I'll probably have to pay more. But anyway, not in comparison to what I would have to pay in the U.S. All right, but the light bill here is about $55 a month. Increased a little bit from $50 because I added a new venue or a new facility to the venue. All right, the water bill I was away for a couple of months, so the bill didn't get paid until I got back. I went in to pay it, and for about 6 months worth of bill that I paid, because I paid into the following months as well, I paid about $50, which is about $10,000 I paid on it, and my next bill is not due until July. So from the time I left, or for a 6 months bill, 6 to 8 months bill, it's about $50 US. This is water. Now, mind you, the water does go at times. So some days you won't have water, and, but the cheapness of it Thank God you have a tank. So the cheapness of it really helps you to say, all right, well, hey, if it's not running, then it's time to just use your tank water. So it's fine. And this is where the rain comes in, why it's important. Also, there are guys who drive around and they put water in your tank in case you run out of it. You can get them to fill it up. All right. So, and that water comes from the what they call the Bucktown, and so they have water from that area that they will come and they will fill up your tank with, and it's clean water. Okay. My internet is about $25 a month. That's $125 so far, but mind you, remember the water bill is for 6 to 8 months. So if you kind of calculate that, that's barely about maybe $8 a month. So now we've got 75, 80, about $88 in bills. What other bill is on here? Um, I can't even think of any other bill. I always forget what bill I have because it's so little. So those are the three bills that I can think of. So my light bill, my water bill, my internet bill. Okay, then I get minutes for my phone. And those minutes, generally, I will get about $2,000, and that will last me for about 2 weeks. And so maybe about $20 a month in minutes for my phone, and this would be for my business phone. I don't use my business phone that much. I only use it for taxi. And of course, people call me for bookings, so I don't really need to call. If I miss a call, of course I call it back. But generally, it's used so that customers can call to see if I'm open, or if they want to book a day, if they want to get plan an event, they want to come by, so they have to call me to make sure I'll be here, and so on. Or they walk in at the gate and my gate is locked, so they have to call me from the gate to so I can come and open, and so on. Or sometimes they come and it's locked, period, even in the evening hours, and I have to open up. I don't open my gate until my customers get here. So don't feel bad if you come to my gate and it's locked. It's just for my own security. And you have to be careful in these neck of the woods. You can't slack, you know what I mean? So once customers are here, I open up. And even when customers are here, if I only have a limited amount of customers, my gate, after a certain time, when the place goes silent because it's the back road, I lock my gate. So that way people just can't walk in, because you just don't know. People are crazy these days, all right? So I definitely lock up. So let me go into telling you some of the benefits outside of the cheapness, all right? So the low cost of living is number one. This is one of the reasons why I came home, the low cost of living. It's just amazing to me. Oh, I do give my brother, because I stay at the house, I give him $30, about $60, what is that? No, $30 US a month, which is about 6,000 Guyana dollars. And half of that is towards the internet down there, and the other half is towards the light. I use both because I wash my clothes and everything there. Of course, I sleep there. I'm there, that's where I dwell. So I give him $30. He doesn't cook for me, so I don't give him no money towards food. So I cook my own food. Well, whatever I do make, or I eat what the customers are eating, which is a bad habit I'm picking up. So I started to say the other day that I have to start making healthier dishes, because all that fried food isn't good, because I do a lot of chicken tenders and jerk wings and all that. So it's not good for me. So I'm going to try to, this week here, I bought a small, what do you call it? Little stove, electric stove, and I'm gonna definitely be using that to make healthier food, sautéed healthy vegetables and chicken and so on. So that way I can begin to eat healthier, because I think I picked up a bad habit for the past 2 months or so, just eating a lot of fried food. Okay, so with that, so the low cost of living, I love being by my granny's place. Of course, I'm going to end up building my own place eventually, but for now, I have my own room. I have 2 rooms. I have the whole upstairs, actually. My nephew stays up there. He's 7 years old, so he's in the other room, one of the rooms, and but he goes to his mom a lot of times as well when he's off school. So basically, it's just me upstairs. My brother comes up to cook and goes back down. And I haven't even been there a couple of times for the past several weeks because I've been staying here, on site, and just waking up and getting things done with my husband. And then I continued after he left. But this week I went back home because I felt so tired. I was like, this is not comfortable being out of your bed. So it was good being back home. So I think last week I went home, and this week I went home even more. Um, so it's stress free. I love the fact that I'm stress free, that I don't have to worry about things. When you think about being in the US, there's this constant competition to live as well as your neighbor is, to, that white picket fence, that perfect financial life. And you work. It doesn't matter how long you work, you end up, with bills and more bills and more bills. And it seems like every time you get that nice paycheck and it just goes. And every time you go out to eat dinner, or you do something nice, that goes. And every time you turn around, something is wrong with the car. And I told you before that we both had expensive cars, so therefore the money was, when you go to a mechanic, it was always 500, 600, $1,000 to take care of the cars. I don't think they were brand new cars, but they were relatively very pretty cars. But either way, they weren't old, and his car was even more newer than mine's. So definitely, but it was just very expensive. My car in particular, because it's a Mercedes, it was always very expensive to maintain. His own was a lot less expensive, but because it's newer, he paid more. He still paid more money than the average person who had an older year. Um, let's see. So that power play that you have, and I don't know, somebody's past and playing music, so you'll hear it in the background. But that power play that you have in the U.S., you don't have that extra stress here, where you're constantly in competition with someone else. Definitely, like I said, it's not that over here where you are. Um, I am at a place where I feel like I can eat what I want to eat here. I can do lobster. I can do my filet mignon. I can do, crabs. I can do my prawns. I can do those things, and I don't feel overly burdened with the finance of being able to do so. And I like that. I like being able, because I'm a foodie, so I like being able to do what I want to. And that's number two on my list. So number one is just the fact that, the bills here are exceptionally low, compared to the US. And I don't think I got to $200, even though I have a business, right? So that's a low cost of living. Number two, the fact that I'm stress free and I don't have the rigors of everyday life in the US and worrying about my competition and, competing with my neighbor and everything else and everybody else that I see that have this or that. And even though I always did my own thing, that pressure is still, subconsciously, is still always there. Um, Eating what I feel like eating in terms of nice seafoods and so on, which I love seafood, and because I'm a foodie as well, I can eat well and not have to worry about it. Taking time out because it's your own business. Remember what I started with? I told you that I didn't come to work for about a few days. I mean, I came up here because it's always important to make your presence at your business and to make sure that people know that you're around. But I just simply came up, cleaned up, did whatever I had to, did some deep cleaning, and then I left by a certain time. And so, um, I can just close when I feel like it. Like if I'm tired, I have nothing to worry about. I can just go home. I don't have to worry about staying here because it's somebody's job. If I feel like to having a mental day off, I can just take it. If I feel like going to the beach, I can go. If I feel like, you know, if I open at 10 o'clock and I mean, it's at 6 o'clock and maybe I got four customers and I felt like as though I made enough money for that day and I'm satisfied with what I made, I close up. I can go. I mean, some days I stay here till 2 o'clock in the morning. Other days I close up at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I just go. So it just depends. And it feels good to have that freedom, that financial freedom. And that comes from the fact that I don't have a lot to worry about. Because guess what? When I first started off, there was a worry about, food spoiling and this and that. And then I figured things out along the way. I package things now. I don't take them out unless customers come and order. Liquor don't spoil. Tomorrow is another day. Rome wasn't built in a day. So if Rome wasn't built in a day, what am I worried about? So my thing is that all these things allows me to be free, allow my body to be, to just do its best. I don't have to worry about breaking out in pimples and all that stuff anymore because I'm not worried at all. And I haven't been worried for years, but I think as I got older, I started to look at what other professors were doing, and the fact that they were coming back to work even when they retired, and they were retiring, better than me because they've been there for 40, 45 years. And they were well seasoned professors. And and they were coming back to work shortly after they retired. And of course you can't ask them their business, but I've always I had one theory, and that is because I felt like as though they had to come back to work. It wasn't like, okay, well, I want to come because I have nothing to do. I felt like they had to, because financially, as prices shift, as the market changes, people have more bills even as they age, and it's sad, and their retirement can't carry them. So now they're coming back to work part-time, which we see often. So, and this isn't just, Walmart workers. This is people who are well seasoned, well degreed, and this was what was happening. So for me, I already said, no, things have got to shift, right? So I want to have my own time. So taking time off as I feel like. That's number 4. Number 5, no worries, I said, about how well I'll, let me see, what did I put here? All right, but no worries about time. No worries about time. Like most of the time, I don't even know what day it is. And I'm serious. I mean, it's really crazy, but you have to really sit and say, wait a minute, is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? Is it Tuesday? What day is it? No worries about time. Like I live in a timeless world, honestly. There is no, oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got to do that. Oh, it's time to wake up. Oh, it's time. I get up early anyway because Guyanese people of the whole, I think they get up early to start their day early because their day end very quickly in terms of, it starts at about 5:30 in the morning as soon as the daylight hits, and then 5:30, 5:45. And then by 4 o'clock, everybody's already starting to close off. 3:30, 4 o'clock, it's time to start shifting gears because they're headed home. Because by 5:30, it's dark. So, things work here differently. And being that I have my own business, man, it's freedom galore, galore, galore. I don't have to worry about all that. But I still get up early because a lot of times I still have to meet with contractors. Or if I'm not meeting with a contractor, maybe I have to wash some clothes. And you got to wash that clothes so you can, get it on the line so it can dry. Sometimes it's things that I have to wash from the business. So chair covers, table covers, napkins, so when I have those heavy duty things, I tend to, get up early and wash those things because I need them dried. And it dries really quickly because the sun is really hot when it's hot, and then also because it's rainy season, it's important to time everything. The morning hours generally don't rain, so you have to catch the sun while you can. So you learn everything in this place. Anyway, that's my top 5 reasons for coming and living, and why I'm happy that I made that transition to come back to Guyana. I have 5 more to list, but I won't do it in this session. And I want to thank you for hanging in with me. I want to thank you for following my journey. I want to thank you. I want you to know that I'm happy, that I'm doing well. Spiritually, I'm doing well. I've been listening to a lot of developmental Christian preaching, as I always did over the years. I have been in church a lot more often now, like I'm going to go back this Sunday again. I am very relaxed. I smile a lot as usual. I am just having a good time, and I'm doing good in terms of my health. I don't have any visible signs of sickness, and I thank God. I breathe deeply every day. I do my little exercise. I still walk up now that I am back down the hill. I'm walking more often again. So I gained a little bit more weight. So since I've been relaxing a lot more because when my husband was here, so I'm gonna try to throw. Well, actually, no, I gained that weight from the time I went back to Florida, and then I threw some off, and now I think when my husband came, I kind of plateaued, and because we were around working, and I wasn't doing much walking, so I am gonna be. Working on that extra few pounds that I put on. But things are good otherwise, and I cannot wait to tell you the other five. Listen, I am Donette, and I promote repatriation to your home country. I want you to I want you to subscribe, and I want you to just share, and let other people know what's happening. And we don't have to stay overseas. We don't have to keep working so hard. We don't have to go through the snow. We don't have to, keep being stressed out. We don't have to worry about bills. Just make a plan, and please, guys, stop coming home when you're so old, and people got to take care of you. If you can come now, so many Americans are going to Ghana. They're going to the Dominican Republic. They're living in Panama. They're living in wherever it is that they're living. They're living in different countries. Black Americans is the largest group of people that are now running to different places. So the places that you guys don't want to go because you're claiming, oh, America is so great. These are the places that the Black Americans are now running to, right? Because they know, because they feel the freedom. Remember when they used to tease us that we were we were coming in from the banana boat? Well, I guess they no longer feel that way, right? Because now they feel the freedom that we once felt. Because the reason why I would come home every year from the time I was younger is because when one of the reasons is because I felt that freedom. I wanted to be home. So even though I was in the U.S. and I had all these privileges given to me or opportunities, I should say, given to me, I wanted to be home. There was something about being home that was so, I didn't have to stress. I didn't have to worry about racism. Now in Guyana, it's starting to change. I don't know where all these dark people think that they can be racist. Honestly, I don't know what that's about. But y'all need to stop your nonsense, because we're all dark people, and we need to get and just work with each other, because that nonsense that we picking up, that okay, we're gonna be racist because one person is black and one person is Indian. Listen, y'all better stop. Telling you, we don't even have the equipment, we don't have the psychological tools, we don't have none of that to deal with all those issues that y'all are picking up and bringing it here to Guyana, and then saying, oh yeah, we're better than this, and no, listen, stop. Because y'all already know the reality of it is that anytime you start breeding and creating havoc and creating distress and creating systems to hold people down and to stress people and to say that I'm better than you are, and to create these elite system, or promote elitism and anything like that, you're gonna find that it's gonna be a revolution, and you don't want blood on your hands. Create a Guyana that is beautiful, the one Guyana that the president is promoting, right? So I'm not I'm not APNO, I'm not PPP, I'm just simply a citizen of the world. And I'm simply saying, y'all need to just love on one another and stop this nonsense, seriously, all right? Just live together and do what you got to do. I'm happy to be here. My customers are from all over, and they also look differently, and I'm always welcoming to every single person. And I don't care what you look like, and that's been my motto. And in the classroom is the same way. I got children or students from the entire globe, and that's whether it's Central America, North America, whether it's it doesn't matter where they're from. Okay, they're from Europe, they're from wherever. Okay, South America. No matter. The Caribbean. All of my students are from all over the world. And, I've been teaching over 21 years, and I've never had a problem with being multicultural. And I am deeply, deeply engaged in what culture is and what it is, and that I teach on it. And so I love culture. I love ethnicity. I love, just celebrating people from different culture and different religion and different, the fact that we eat different foods and the fact that we celebrate different holidays. I love all that stuff. So I'm not coming from that place where I'm pointing out one over the other. I am simply thinking about unity and the love that we have as God's children. So, you guys keep loving in each other. Thank you for listening to me. Vent about one thing or next on my. I always do this in my life or in my vlogs where I always vent about something that is of importance to me, and I feel like as though this is one thing we need to stop. You guys live in unity and continue to love on one another. I'll see y'all. Love you. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next live. And come back to listen to my next five. Why it is that I embrace living here in Guyana, and versus the U.S. All right. Okay. Repat all the way, and I appreciate you. Bye bye, guys. Take care.